Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible night, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible night, before the moment flies,
So tell me good lies. Good lies. I'm sorry, guys. We'll tell you a lot of things here, but I ain't gonna tell you no good lies, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth is, today is Wednesday night. It is Love Crossing Borders. We got a great topic for you guys tonight. Just finished picking up your girl from church service. Great service today. And we're going to start going to Bible studies on Tuesdays and church on Wednesdays, just like regular church folks back home. All right, guys, tonight's topic. This is a good one. You guys want to take notes because this is very important when it comes to your success. A lot of times we know what to do, but sometimes it's like Paul in the Bible, we just don't do it. We bottom line, we just don't do it, especially when it comes to traveling. Some of the stuff that Razor Ray talks about on his channel, shout out to Razor Ray, make sure you subscribe. DC Born Rob talks about on his channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, you guys that need to subscribe to also Andrea Wallace TV or Tailor Made Dreams, Ace Live, Check in Effect, all those guys give some great tips and information. But sometimes when we get off that flight, we ignore them. We're going to talk about some tips towards success. Some of you guys keep talking about that you want to move to other countries. I'm going to give you the tip to succeed on how to do that. I'm going to give you at least 8 tips on how to succeed. But before we go there, let's get ready to get some shout outs in. We got 21 people in this live stream. We need to have at least 21 likes because the likes invite other individuals up. Shout out to my man Stefano in the building. Let me turn this down because I'm tired of hearing this right here. Thought I turned it down. Let me just completely turn that part off. All right, cool. We got my man Stefano in the building. Shout out to you guys. He says, make sure that you show support by hitting that like button on your way in. And as always, keep it clean and professional in the chat. That's one thing I can appreciate about you men here. You guys keep it clean and professional on this live stream. There is no childishness. There's no immaturity. There is no selfishness. There's no backbiting on our live streams. And if we do catch it, we nip that in the bud, all of us. So I appreciate that about you men, such as Chopper Pie in the building, my man Tim Howard being in the building as well. I appreciate men like you, my man Gabrielle being here, as well as Tevin also being in the building. We got Jay Fleming representing in the building. Make sure you guys subscribe to Jay's channel, a growing young YouTube channel, man. I'm telling you guys, he's doing some amazing things and always giving some great tips on how to be the best man that you can be in order to be able to continue to travel and do the things that we do, such as Black Scorpion in the building representing. And Stefano says, make sure you support Love Crossing Borders via PayPal and Cash App. We're going to give some shout outs to all you Cash App guys tonight, as well as you PayPal guys. So thank you in advance. And we're going to continue to give you guys thank you. Also, you guys that have been supporting on Patreon, just letting you guys know, in about a week, I'll be dropping new content, new videos. Yeah, the videos that don't make it over here, new videos, new information. We're going to start doing our own mini live stream on Patreon. So all you guys that are on Patreon, make sure that you are already in position to get all the things that you deserve. And if you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, I don't know what y'all guys doing. This would get me. I'm gonna tell y'all about you guys on the live stream. I love you. I'm gonna tell you I love you. You will sit back, throw your boy and your girl $50, $100. Got you. You'll throw $20, $30. I'm with you. 30 to 40% of all that you worked hard for you truck drivers, you military dudes, you white collar dudes, you blue collar dudes, 30 to 40% of that you give to us on the live stream, YouTube take that away right out the gate. So everything that you giving is gone anyway. But when you sign up for the Patreon, you ain't got that headache. Now, I'm not saying don't do the cash apps and the super chats, because I know a lot of times you guys, when you do the super chats, I get a chance to go directly to your comment or your question. So that's the cool part about super chats. But if you're going to send that amount of money, you might as well just break it up into sections and just send it to the Patreon. So we're going to have that information for you guys in regards to the Patreon, so you guys will be able to sign up. We are at right now at like 41, 42. Our goal for this up and coming by the end of the month to be at least 50. We are ahead of our goal of 100 Patreons in 100 days. So I appreciate all that you guys are doing to help support the channel. And like I said, we could give you more on the Patreon for your $50 in a year or your $100 in a year than we ever could just give you on YouTube. So if you want to support us with the big bucks, with those big donations that you guys give us on Cash App, and YouTube takes 40% of that, go to Patreon and you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck there. So make sure that you guys take advantage of that. But for those that want to give on Cash, that still want to give on Cash App, there's nothing wrong with that. Or you want to do on Super Chats, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it gives us a chance to get to your statements fast and get to your questions immediately. Shout out to you guys. All you guys that haven't subscribed to our Rumble, make sure you subscribe to the Rumble. I'm going to be dropping videos on there this week. Appreciate you guys. We got Kenny Peoples in the building. He said, don't stay up too late on here. I'm not. This is only going to be like a couple of hours, hour and a half live stream. I know a lot of us got to go to work in the morning, and I got exercise and I need to finish doing, because, you know, you can't miss any of the 75-day hard challenge. If I miss one thing in the 75 days, I got to start all over again. So I can't be doing the live stream too late tonight. Shout out to you. My man Beach Material representing those that enjoy the beach live. What do you do, Slim, on Hump Day Wednesday? You know what? I don't know. On Hump Day Wednesday, I'm usually hanging out with you guys. My man Mike in the building, bring on the wisdom. My man Dre, namesake, the namesake himself. Shout out to you. Cool cat. You can't get no better than that. Yo, Dre, is it possible to find a good chica in Medellin? No. I'll end that right there. No. You dudes be hunting too long in Medellin. The greatest, we're going to talk about this tonight, guys. We're about to get to the topic really fast. One of the greatest, if not the greatest commodity that you will ever have as a man, and you will be judged by this as a man, is how you use your time. The greatest commodity of all time. There's no natural resource that ever existed that's greater than the commodity of time. You can't make enough money to make up for time. Some people that have passed on, or some people that are in wheelchairs, or some people that are in hospitals, wish that they had the time. They would give up millions and billions to come back, if only for 15, 20 minutes to say, I love you to a family member. Time is the greatest commodity. So what I mean with this in Medellin, you will use up too much of your time trying to find a good woman, just as much as you will waste it in the States trying to find a good woman. Are there good women in the States? Yes. Are there good women in Medellin? Yes. But because it's so saturated with tourists, and the women in Medellin are tourist tarnished, in other words, they don't trust us. They don't trust us when we come, because so many tourists come in and out of Medellin. Medellin is like living in Orlando, and I lived in Orlando. Some of you guys live in California, and you see people come and go, come and go. These women don't know to trust us. but I want to really get to know you. Yeah, that's what the last 5 tourists said. So if you're looking for a good woman in Colombia, I'm telling you, man, Medellin is the lot. Now, if you're looking for a party girl, if you're looking to smash somebody, Medellin, Cartagena, have at it. But if you're looking for a good woman in Medellin, you're wasting your time. And some guys that's been married and met women in Medellin, they met them, but they took their time. It's going to take time. And if you can't afford time, then don't waste your time. Y'all with me on that one? Nothing against Medellin. It's just the fact that it is what it is when it comes to Medellin. It's just it's like I always say, Medellin is like going to the United States for the first time and trying to find the queen of your life in Las Vegas. You get that one? You just landed in the United States. You're looking for a good woman, and you go to Las Vegas. And I know all of Vegas is not the strip, but we all know enough of it is. Kenny said, I need to carry church more often. I need to go to church more often. I'm trying to cut back on the curses on the live stream, guys. For you guys that are interested in consultations in regards to, like we were just talking about, the ladies or job opportunities or living abroad in South America, hit me up. Even if you're looking at the vacation down here and you just try to make sure you get to the right place at the right time. I'm gonna let you guys know. The last brother last week, he mentioned it. He said, Dre, I came to Cali and I did not do the consultation. And I regret it. He said, because I don't know where to go, what to do. I'm lost. He said, I know I ain't do the consultation, but can you help a brother out? Can you help me find a place to stay first? He said, because where I'm at is not cutting it. And so helped him out. And we hung out and had a great time. Had a great time. Good brother. Good brother. Shout out to Jay in the building. Yes, make sure you subscribe to Jay's channel. Let me scroll down a little bit, Stefano. Julian is in the building. Mr. Alexander himself. We got Charles also. What up, good people? Hit that like button. I like you. Make sure you like us too. All right. Make sure you guys also subscribe to our up-and-coming channel, Travel Unravel. We got 2 more channels up and coming. We got one political channel that's going to be a live stream, which is America. We need to talk. So that's a channel that's come up and coming. I already got it. And so I already got the banner and everything. The one I haven't done everything technically for is Travel Unravel. Travel Unravels is going to be YouTube shorts and short videos. So shout out to that channel as well. So make sure you subscribe us also. I got a few videos up there too. Charles says, has anyone heard from Gail at night? Yes, Gail was on the live stream last night with Zoom to Thailand. She was on there. She was moderating last night. So yeah, it was her first day back. So she probably just needed a break from us crazy dudes and just need some time to herself. She might be booed up. That could be it too. She might be booed up. So she might need some time for her boo. All right, Bobby's in the building, checking in. That's what I'm talking about, as well as Jamon. What up, chat room in the building? We got Cool Cat once again, anchoring everything off. Is scopolamine big in Cali? Not as much as in Medellin and in other cities, as well as the United States. I'm going to say this again. You dudes sleeping on how often dudes are getting scoped in the States. I already did like 3 videos last year on how often dudes getting scoped in the States. Y'all getting scoped so often. Remember, the last movie that J-Lo made was called Hustlers, about where her and Cardi B. It was about strippers scoping dudes in the States. True story. That was the movie. Was a true story. So when I sit back and I mentioned that it does happen here in Cali, but not as much as in Medellin. Not as much. Medellin is because it's a tourist capital of one of the tourist capitals of South America. You got a lot more people going there. But we do hear stories off and on that a few dudes are getting scoped down here, and it's the same process. Dudes get with beautiful bottom feeders. It never fails. It never fails. The same formula, the same recipe. It never fails. I have yet to see somebody get scoped and I was surprised. Never. I have never seen a dude get scopolamine and I was surprised. I don't care how smart the dude was. I don't care how hood the dude was. I don't care how professional the guy was. I don't care if the guy was just naive getting off the plane. Every single scope story is the same thing. Y'all do the same thing over and over. If you wasn't just so, if dudes would come to Colombia and not bring thirst with them, it would be a better world down here. But these women and the men that trained them, I'm going to say this again. These women in Colombia and the men in Colombia that trained them to scope you to think like a man, they know everything about you before you get off that plane. They've scoped enough dudes. Some of you guys know what it's like to go to the gym, lift weights, your body gets sore. You know what your creatine is. You know what protein it takes. So why? Because you've done it so often. These women and the men that train them in these gangs and groups and organizations, they have scoped thousands upon, they have it down to a science. They could tell you when you get off the plane, not him, not him, not him, him too. Not him, him too. They can look at, they know when you walk into Parque Yeris, when they know you ain't got no business being in there, black. I'll let you ride with that one for a minute. Get my bottle of water in. You know I got to drink a gallon of water every day. That's a part of the 75 hard challenge. You don't have any business in Parque Yeris black. I said it. Ain't nobody else going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. The only people that can afford with our complexion to be in Parque Yeris is us. So anybody that's black on a regular in Parque Yeris is either a worker or security or something. So soon as they see you wandering around and you're not a worker and you're not security, you are a target. Those are the only people with our complexion walking through Parque Yeris. A target, a worker, that means that you work in the kitchen, or you work in the restaurant, or you work in one of the stores, or you're security, like you're a police officer in that area, or you're a bouncer or something like that. But if you think that regular everyday Afro-Colombians go to Parque Yeris, when was the last time you'll either see some real young teenage Afro-Colombians there every blue moon, but you ain't gonna see no A, it ain't that many black people in Medellin. B, when you see a black person in Parque Yeris, it's usually one of the three: security, a worker, or a target. And you the target. Soon as they see your complexion, wait a minute. Most Afro-Colombians can't even afford to come all the way down to El Poblado. They don't even live anywhere near El Poblado. So how, target, get them, girls. You dudes are so easy. Every one of y'all wonder, well, how did they know it was me? How could they tell? I could blend you first. Secondly, black people don't blend in Medellin. You blend in Cartagena. You blend in maybe Bogota. You blend in definitely Cali. You blend in Santa Marta, Barranquilla. You don't blend in Medellin. Ain't nothing black down in Medellin except a few Afro-Colombians here and a few Afro-Colombians there. Now come to Cali, come to Cartagena, come to Barranquilla, go to Bogota where it's so diverse. Go to Santa Marta. Now you can blend in. But when y'all be getting off planes talk about something, I'm in Colombia and we blend in as black people, you lying your tail off. I know where you blend in. And Medellin ain't the city where you blend in. The moment you get off that plane, there's a target. That's why they know to get you. Because you ain't got anybody your complexion. Don't go to Parque Yeris. No, Afro-Colombian. See, you need to start watching the locals, brothers. Ladies. If you go into Medellin and you scamper your little happy butt, all these black clubs, all these reggae clubs in Medellin, and you don't go to none of them. You go to those and you don't see none but Afro-Colombians there, but they ain't in Parque Lleras. Bet that. Every major black club in Medellin is not in Parque Lleras. Black people ain't going down there. You targets are going down there. I'll say that again. For all you targets with our complexion, you don't work there. Check. You're not security. You're not bodyguard. You're not a police officer. You're not security. Check. So what are you then? You ain't nothing but a chocolate target. You will never see me in Medellin. So many black clubs and black experience that you could have in Medellin if you want to be around the few sisters that's down there and you want to run up in Parque Lleras. Then you wonder, how did they know? How did they know to target us? It's easy. You got money and you ain't and anybody that's your complexion, don't come here. Afro-Colombians can't afford to be in Parque Lleras. El Poblado is one of the most expensive districts in all. Do your homework. El Poblado, Colombia, is one of the most expensive districts in all of South America. Yeah, I'm talking about from Argentina all the way up to Ecuador, Chile. You going all the way over to Brazil. I'm talking about Uruguay, Paraguay, Suriname. I'm talking about all of Guyana, Venezuela, all the way back to all throughout Colombia. Parque Lleras is one of the top 5 most expensive locations to party or to live in all of South America. If you think that the average Afro-Colombian is there, you out your rabbit mind. That's why y'all get got. Just in case y'all wonder why y'all always get caught up. What white boys do, but not like you brothers. White boys are easy targets because everybody see them. They look gullible in shorts, t-shirts, and sandals. They easy targets. Shorts, t-shirts, and sandals. White boy, as soon as you walk up in there as a white boy, you blonde. You a target. White boys that are blonde are targets. Brothers with our complexions, you're a target. You will never see me in Parque Lleras. I was in there once or twice when it was cool. But now it's nothing about, it's all about victims. Ain't no way in it. Ain't no way in it. If I was a white dude and I love flip-flops and sandals and targets, I mean, in t-shirts, guess what? If I was white and I'm from Europe and I love t-shirts, sandals, and there is no way in hell I would be in Parque Lleras. No way. Because you automatically a target, especially if you one of them tall European white boys from Switzerland. We see them down here in Cali all the time. They like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". Their girlfriends like 6'1", 6'2". These are tallest white women I've never seen in my life. They all over 6 feet. And be on the dance floor down here. So I know if they like that in here in Cali, I can imagine them tall white women and tall white boys in Parque Lleras. Easy targets. Just like your black tail. All this in a place where Afro-Colombians, for the most part, can't afford to go to. Go get them girls. Get them girls. Get them girls. Get them girls. Y'all easy, man. Y'all make it too easy to rob y'all for real. Too easy. All those black clubs in Parque Lleras, and y'all, I mean, outside of Parque Lleras, and y'all trying to have some black fun inside the most dangerous area. Okay. And for those that don't listen to this one, it's gonna be your fault. Shout out to my man Afro Natural in the building. He say salute, Unc. He say chat, great tips. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all be wondering, and ain't nobody ever said it. I'm the only one that's gonna tell you because you're black. It ain't like when Ace was going and when Marwa was going and my man Jabril from Passport Heavy back in 2019, 2018, 17. That Parque Lleras is gone. Now, every time they see your black butt get off a plane and you scamper your little happy butt in Parque Aires, guarantee you a target. Every single one of you. Not me. Yeah, you too, bruh. No, that's my boy. You, like I said, you can walk through Parque Aires, the most stoic brother. You can walk through Parque Aires yelling at the top of your lungs because you from the hood. Don't matter. Both of y'all targets. Both of you. It is not a place where Afro-Colombians hang out. So you an easy target if you got your butt up in there and you ain't security and you ain't working. Ride that one out. Unless you Cameron. It don't matter. He a target too. I'm going to let y'all know something. Colombians don't give a dang about you being famous. You ain't nothing but a target. If the only thing that saved dudes like Cameron is because they got an entourage. That's it, that they paid for. They get them somebody that can show them around, that they paid for. Let Cameron not be famous and walk up in Parque Aires. He gonna get got just like the rest of the brothers. Ain't nothing special. Let Jay-Z not have been famous. Let Shaq not have been famous. All them dudes can get it. All of them can get it. That's my point. If you black and you walking up in Parque Aires, y'all ain't catch. Some of y'all gonna ignore this anyway. So I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna get to the topic. Because some of y'all, you're hard-headed. You gonna go ahead, you in Medellin right now. You probably got a hotel room right across the street from Parque Aires right now. Okay, do this. Next time you scamper your happy tail up in Parque Aires, see how many Afro-Colombians you see up in there. Come on, y'all. You dudes that's been to Parque Aires too, that's been there a few times. Ask yourself how many Afro-Colombians you see up in there that ain't working, that ain't security. You see a couple clubbing. I ain't say it's 100% no brothers in there. You'll see a couple clubbing here and there. All you're going to see is brothers from the States or UK, Canada, or other parts. Them the only brothers you're going to see. You'll see a bunch of brothers. Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will. But all of them going to be tourists. All of them going to be tourist targets, just like you. Go ahead, ask yourself. When the last time you saw somebody that you kind of thought was an Afro-Colombian in Parque Aires? Rarely. They're hustling, like trying to sell you something that's, if you're a weed dude, trying to sell you some weed, or they trying to beg you for some money, or they trying to, I could take you to where some ladies are. But as far as like Afro-Colombians enjoying the club like you enjoy it, like paying to get in and then popping by, you ain't gonna see no Afro-Colombians in Parque Aires. They can't afford to go there. So the only fool that's in Parque Aires that's popping bottles is the black target or the white boy with the slippers. Soon as they see you pop a bottle, they know you ain't from here. Why? Because Afro-Colombians can't afford to pop that bottle. And the ones that can afford it, they on the club, in the black clubs on the other side of the city. So they ain't gonna spend any time driving all the way over here to one of the most expensive cities in all of Colombia, in all of South America, El Poblado. Why should they ride all the way to get to El Poblado to enjoy Parque Aires when they can go to all the black clubs and all the reggae clubs and all the other spots where black people go to on the other side of the city? But y'all don't do that. And y'all always looking like targets, and you be mad at yourself. But like I said, a lot of y'all ain't gonna listen anyway. You're gonna do what you want to do. He say, "What up, Dre? Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, E. Good man right there. This dude, good man. I had a good time when E came down here this past weekend. Me and my man, it's kind of funny. Both two brothers named Eric, and we all hung out. Man. We had a good time. All right. Cool Cat says, Clock Tower, same thing. Say worst spot, Clock Tower or El Poblado. I would say I would actually say El Poblado. And the reason why I would say El Poblado, Clock Tower, it is what it is. Ain't no clubs around there that you about to run off into. There's some clubs in Cartagena close to that area, but Clock Tower is just that. It's a big square clock tower, right? And so you know what's in there. Soon as the sun go down, you know what's going down. You know it is what it is. You ain't kind of like stumbling into the clock tower like, wow, we came here to look at the sights. Wow, they've got ladies of the nights out. No, clock tower, it is what it is. You know when the sun go down, what's about to go down. In Medellin, in Parqueyeras, it's blended with restaurants and clubs. We just here for the clubs. We just here for the party. Oh, the people are around. We're here for the people that are around. Hey, we're here for the experience. So you're thinking that you're just a part of the experience and you're being sucked in like Alice in Wonderland. And next thing you know, you sitting at the table with the Mad Hatter. That's why I would consider, if I had to choose between the two, that would be safest. I ain't saying that either one of them is safe as far as the ladies are concerned. But if I was going for pay for play, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If I was a pay for play type of dude, I would trust Cartagena pay for play more than I would trust Medellin's pay for play. Can you get got up, get caught on both of them? Yes. But in Cartagena, you do blend in. Ain't nothing but brothers and sisters down in there. But when it comes to the ladies of the night, you can walk up directly to them and say, and they know that all these ladies are out here for a reason. There is no games about it. There is no, is she a lady tonight or is she not? You know. There is no clubs and restaurants and nothing around you to distract you. Everything but just about closing down, except for the clubs that are a few blocks over. But you know exactly what you're getting when you get to the clock tower. Last time we went to Cartagena like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we saw the ladies getting set up before the sun went down. We saw it was the funniest thing because you're looking like it's like 5:30 at night. You know, the sun goes around 6 o'clock. And you start seeing all these ladies coming around. I mean, dressed to the T, looking cute, or they jeans. And they look at, you're like, dang, where did all this fatness come from at 5:30? They hanging out at the grocery stores, you know, outside the grocery stores. And you guys in Cartagena know what I'm talking. I've been in Cartagena, know what I'm talking about in the old clock tower area. Close to there's an Exito. And so instead of just hanging around in the clock tower, what the ladies will do, they'll wait until the sun go down. Then everybody's, you know, regular tourists like me and Andrea, we disperse. We going somewhere else, right? And then all of a sudden, the ladies of the night come and take over the clock tower like zombies, like a Michael Jackson Thriller video, right? Just start taking over, right? But you see them when they preparing themselves, man, before it's time to before it's time to make that money. They already down there like 4:30, 4 o'clock. They be sitting up there just sitting there at a restaurant or a bar drinking water, or they'll sit back and they'll be texting, or they'll be in the bars hoping that you will pick them up in the bar scene before, or buy them a drink before they have to go stand outside for a few hours hoping that you will pick them. So they'll wait in a bar. And some of you guys go into the bars and, hey, ooh, she's sexy, let me go holler at her. Those type of things. But it's funny to watch it unfold, man. It really is. Thanks again, E. Shout out to you for the cash app. The super chat. Stefano says, why do y'all always ask these? What do y'all always ask about these same places? I look at it from this perspective. I rather the guys ask the questions than not ask the questions. And it's like reading the same book over. You're always going to pick up something new. And then you got people that's in the live stream that weren't here before, probably when I said something about it. But I'll give you a perfect example. A year ago, when somebody asked this question, Stefano, I would have said something different. But now that my knowledge is a little bit more when it comes to Parqueyeras, I'll say it's because it's black. And then nobody thought about that. I didn't think about it 2 years ago. But now when somebody asks the question again, 2 years forward, and with all the experience I've had, I realized that, wait a minute, there are places here, even in Cali. When I walk in, he's a foreigner. Why? Most brothers can't afford to drive all the way up this mountain. They ain't got no car to get up there. They can't afford to drive up this mountain and get to this type of restaurant. When they get here, this is like a 4 or 5-star restaurant. It's been plenty of times I was the only brother in the restaurant. Outside of the workers, that was the waiters and the waitresses and the chefs. There's plenty of those brothers. But outside, I'm talking about sitting down and enjoying a meal. I've been to fancy restaurants 4 or 5 times, and I've been the only brother there. The only brother. There are theme parks I've been to. Plenty of brothers, hundreds of brothers and sisters. I'm the only brother there that ain't working. I've been to beaches in Cartagena. 300 brothers and sisters deep. Some of you guys can recognize this. When you get to Cartagena beaches, 400 people deep. It might be 30 of us on the beach enjoying it. The rest of them working, selling something, hustling, blah, 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 blah. Even though all our people are there, it might be just 30 of us just sitting on the beach, actually enjoying the beach. That can afford to enjoy it. Same thing with Parque Aires in Medellin. When they see you, automatic tours. Why? Most brothers and sisters can't afford to do what you're doing right now. You buying shots and buying bop. Club Living here in Cali, Colombia. Club Negre. I take you brothers there. They roll a carpet out for us every time we walk through. You know why? You know why? Because we one of the few brothers that can afford to be in there. And most of the brothers and sisters that are in there, we all know each other. There's nothing for me to go in there with a bunch of y'all and I run in there and I see a bunch of my other boys in there. Why? Because we know other than the workers, can't nobody afford these clubs. Some of the clubs we go to, it's 100,000 pesos to walk through the door. Because it comes with a free concert every week. Top performers. Some of the workers can't afford 100,000 pesos just to walk into a club, ain't bought a drink one. They can't afford a club that's nothing but VIP. You can. And that's what makes you look like a target. Shout out to E. Voice of Consciousness. Hey, Dre, do you think bros are obsessed with Hispanic? Yes, and Thai women, or just my perspective? I think it's both. I think that they are obsessed with Thai women and are also in Latin women in general. No matter where you go, Latin women just miss it right now around the world. That's without a doubt. But I think it also stems from, how can I word this? It stems from our lack of the enjoyment of femininity, the enjoyment of seeing women that are fit, the enjoyment of seeing women that are competitive, that are willing to. I give you a perfect example. When I was single, I was getting rid of Latin women like this. I'm talking about some hot chicks. If they wouldn't compete for me, get rid of them. Why? Because the next one I knew would be competitive. Even when I was in Tampa, get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them. Why? The competition is so deep. But when I was in my own community, among my own women, they didn't feel I was worthy of being competed for. So these guys get off the plane, and now they got women that are willing to compete for them. Whether it be for money, whether it be for looks, whether it be for because you're an American, whatever it may be, they're willing to compete. They're fit. They look like, wait a minute, my grandmother is sexy, my mama's sexy, all my sisters and cousins are sexy. I better keep this body looking right. They're feminine. Every blue moon, and you got to go to the bottom feeders to find a female that's walking around with an attitude all the time. among women in South America. So when guys come down here, they're so enamored, mesmerized with how different the behavior patterns of many of the women are, that they get caught up. They get caught up fast too, man. I be seeing y'all, man. Y'all get off the plane, man. Y'all be what? And I did it. I was the same way. So don't think I got off the plane and I was like Mr. Cool. No. No matter how many Colombians I had smashed in the States, it was nothing like seeing Colombians in Colombia. Goodness gracious. I told y'all Ace had to grab my head. Dre, stop turning that head. Goodness gracious, Dre. You about to break your neck. I thought I was gonna have whiplash the first day. Seriously. Thank you, brother. We love Cuba. We love Cuba, even though we were there, toward the end of the hurricane. And what made our, tailor-made dreams to say different, because tailor-made dreams love Cuba, right? What got us about Cuba was not our experience. Our experience was cool. The experience of the locals, that's what made us kind of sad. So Russ tailor-made dreams think that our experience is bad, but it was to sit back and just watch the life of the locals. Like, dang, it's hard out here for a pimp. I mean, you got to stand. When Russ said this, he said there's a line and no line for people. He said you got people in Cuba, it's a line people and no line people. And I thought he was saying, like, I kid you not, I thought he was talking about the club. Like, there are people that stand in line to get to the club, and there are people that can just, they got connections to get through security. That's what I'm thinking when he said it. But then when we went to Colombia, went to Cuba, now I understand it. There are people that stand in line for hours and days to get their government rations, whether it be food, whether it be like toilet paper and tissue and things to take care of your family, whether it be medication. Dude, it's nothing. It's nothing in Cuba to I need to drop some more Cuba videos because I got plenty of that footage. It's nothing to see Cubans standing in line 6-7 hours. A fight about to break out in the front of the line because by the time you make it to the front, they argue with each other with who's first and who's second, just to get 3 cans of beans and half a carton of eggs and a little bit of pork, maybe a chicken. That's what made our trip like, dang. We all know Colombians ain't struggling. Colombians, some Colombians, not all, but some Colombians are struggling, but it ain't in your face all the time. In Cuba, it is in your face. The dilapidation of the buildings is in your face. How old Cuba is. It's right there. It ain't that's the old Cuba, like Cartagena has that old Cartagena part, and then it's the new fancy South Beach, Miami part. No, everything in Cuba is old. Everything. We were in the nice areas. We lived in our Airbnb was in the nice areas. Shh, that's old. That's old. That's what made our trip to Cuba like, ugh. Now, when we went to the beach area, don't get it wrong. If any of you guys been to Cancun or any part of Mexico and you've seen the ocean, and Mexico, they call the ocean the ocean of 7 colors because it's 7 different colors of blue. That's Cuba. Cuba, the beach area, beautiful. I'm not talking about Havana. I'm talking about when you go to the real beach areas. It's beautiful, dude. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And most Cubans will never see it because they can't afford to either drive out there or they can't afford to be out there. That was the part that made us sad about Cuba. But as far as the people, safety, excellent. You will not have to worry about somebody coming up on you in the middle of the night in Cuba. It's not, they don't do it like that. Safe, the women being there for you and dudes being encouraging, the nicest people you ever wanted to meet, man. Cuban people are extremely nice, very helpful. They if you got a couple dollars for them, or if you only got a couple of coins, or if you ain't got nothing to give them for help you, cool. They're gonna still help you anyway. But at the end of the day, Cubans have taken us to some of the best restaurants, bars, party areas. We had a great time because of the people. Very nice people. And then, you know, Andrea being Colombia, they treated her like a movie star because, you know, everywhere we go, everybody fantasizes about a Colombian woman. Every dang Latin country we've gone to so far, everybody fantasizes about Colombian women, no matter where you go. All right. Shout out to Julian. He said, it ain't that deep. Yeah, it ain't that deep. It ain't that serious to be going to be going. So if you to go into Medellin and be dealing with them headaches. He said, Patreon, if you guys want to be down with us with the Patreon, guys, we appreciate at least 5 people tonight. At least 5 people can get us to 45. 5 people just with $5 can get us to 45. So definitely click that link and get us to 45. And we appreciate that, man. Like I said, I want to make sure that I always have up-to-date information. I do it once a month. Like this is the last week of the month coming up next week. I dedicate that whole week of getting everything prepared. So the next month, everything is dropped brand new for you guys that are patrons. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys. So make sure you guys sign up with at least 5 people before the end of the night. Afro-Latinas are fine beyond belief. They're fine. I love living in Cali. These sisters are fine on a whole nother level fine. And it ain't about like in Africa, they got the big butts and it's our sister queens. It's like if you don't make it to Africa, come on down to Cali, Colombia. You ain't gonna miss nothing because they hold strong their African roots. Strong. They hold us. They proud of their African roots. They ain't like Dominicans in Afro Puerto Ricans that sit back and I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not black. What? You darker than my router. You darker than my cell phone. I'm Dominican, bro. I ain't black. You be looking at Dominicans like, bruh. I bet you if the police pull you over and start beating you down, you black. Come on to the States and see what they're going to call you. Go on down to Kentucky, Dominican. Since you ain't black, you should be fine in Kentucky. Go on down to the backwoods of Mississippi, Dominican. Go on, tell them you ain't black then. See what them redneck white boys got waiting for you in Oklahoma. Talking about you ain't black. But Afro-Colombians all throughout the country, they don't play that. They're not just black. They are just as much African as they are Colombian. They love their African roots, man. They do not shun away from the fact that most of them are from the Congo area. They proud of theirs. Remember this, guys, for those of you that don't know it, and I mentioned it before. Most Afro-Colombians still have African last names. They'll have a Colombian or a Latin or even American first name. But most Afro-Colombians still got their last name from Africa. Yeah, bro. All right. Are we going to get to this topic tonight, fellas? Because y'all come with some good questions. It's something about a Latin woman that lets me tell you. He said, let me tell you. I also grew up in New Mexico. Yeah. Very family-oriented type women. And like I said, it's just something about them. And that's what it is, man. You can't put your finger on it. Latin are just like black people with just a brown complexion. And they just celebrate life. I think that's one of the things I'm learning about the value of time and being around Latin people full time. They just value life, man. They like, if I got $1 million, cool. If I don't, cool. We still gonna turn this music up. You would see somebody that's a senator out there partying with the dude that's a servant. Like it's nothing. You couldn't tell the difference between the two because Latin people celebrate life like no other. Like no other. Brothers and sisters, I love y'all in the States. I love y'all. We wallflowers compared to Latin people. We wallflowers. Believe that. You ain't gonna find too many clubs in the Latin community that's all guys on this side and all the ladies on that side. But it's nothing for you to walk into a bar in the States or a club in the States where a majority of the ladies dancing with a majority of the ladies and majority of the men dancing with majority. You ain't gonna find two. You'll find some, but in South America, no, you ain't gonna find too many of them. Most of the times, everybody just blending in with everybody. Make sure you guys subscribe to Andrea Wallace TV, Andrea's channel. She's doing great things over there. Space and places out there. He said tricks are abused with tricking. Obsessed with tricking and deprived and depraved. So touch in states they hungry. So depraved, so touch in states. Oh, so much. Probably saying so much in the states that they're deprived so much in the states that they're hungry. Yeah. They really are. There's some dudes that just ultra thirsty. Everybody will tell you in Colombia, the average Colombian female, she ain't gonna share you. She gonna tell you off the market day one. And what'll dudes do? I had 3 Colombian women walk up to me and say, I want you tonight. Bruh, on average, 3 Colombian women are not going to end up in your bed tonight. It's a setup. Well, I had 3. Yeah, okay. Like I said, you'll always have bottom feeders and anomalies. And then when y'all had 3 women, and I see them, they don't never be quality women. It don't never be Colombian 8s, 9s, and 10s. Never. And you know the 8s, 9s, and 10s, you know you're going to pay for that anyway. So y'all get 3 bottom feeders in y'all bed and y'all think y'all done something. And I be looking like, are you freaking serious? The average Colombian women, remember this and never forget this. Colombia is not a hookup culture. This is not a one-night stand country. If you think it is, it's not. Because you done ran through a couple of bottom feeders and a couple pay for play and a couple party girls, you think that the other 98% of Colombian women are just like that. Bruh, I'm here to tell you, after living here 6 years, Colombia ain't the States. Colombia ain't Brazil. Brazil, from what I'm hearing, you can get it in immediately. But in the States, we all know. Come on, let's go. Mommy, let's ride. Colombia, the average female? No. I've been telling y'all that, man. Y'all come down here super thirsty, and since you so thirsty, and the average 80 to 90% of Colombians ain't gonna let you hit it the first night. So now you run to the bottom feeders. So now you run to the party girls on your first or second day here in Colombia. So now you run to the ones that are pay for play. And you get got. And now you mad. You think all Colombian, you run around on YouTube telling all Colombian women like that. All Colombian women you can get it any night. No, you can't. You get all Colombian women the first night if you got enough money. No, you can't. No. You get a broke a Colombian woman, no job, a Colombian woman that ain't got nothing going on. Yeah, you get her the first night. But the average, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. And I've been all across this country. I'm talking about big city to small city. And the average Colombian women, they still strong Catholics, dude. The average Colombian woman ain't gonna give you that coochie the first night. You can forget that, not the average. Now, if you've been hollering at her online for a while, and y'all been texting each other before you got down here, you done laid a foundation, you probably can hit it the first night. I got you. Dre, I came down, but did you already know her before? Meaning that y'all been texting and conversing and y'all been, been hitting each other up, video chat. If you've been doing it like that, I got you. Go ahead. You can get it the first night. But if you talking about just getting off the plane fresh in a regular Colombian woman, Negro, please. You crazy. You crazy. Andrea can come here and tell you that one. That's for real, man. Y'all be having me rolling, man. Y'all be coming off the planes thinking like, for real. I'm like, man, come on, bro. It ain't that serious. It is not that serious. Shout out to my man Monk Mode in the building. What's up, Monk Mode? What's up, Agent Fresh? That's a cool name. I ain't gonna even lie about that. EMB is in the building. Shout out to EMB. In the hey man, Philly. Whoo. It's gonna look fresh. It's gonna be looking rough for Philadelphia. Shout out to y'all. Got y'all quarterback set up for the next, the 200. What's that? 222 million. I ain't mad at him. 220 million. But all y'all coaches gone. Everybody dispersed. Your the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator for Philadelphia. All type of team members have left and gone to other teams. Well, let's see if y'all can get there again. Shout out to Philadelphia. Shout out to Julian. He says, Dre says, are there cigar? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of cigar bars and lounges all throughout Colombia. That's one thing you can. If I was still smoking cigars, it would be no problem down here. No problem. Realize this. You guys got to realize this also. Colombia has a huge Cuban population. A lot of guys never talk about that. And who's bringing all those skills and abilities to make the best cigars? The Cubans, as well as other cultures that come down here. So, yeah, we got a lot of cigar bars down here, man, in Cali. Actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Because I'm going to put that in the Patreon. For you guys that come down to Cali, you're going to have a list and information on where the location to some of the best cigar bars and lounges are in Colombia. And you might be, and I'm going to tell you again, you might be the only one, unless you with another brother or a group of brothers, y'all might be the only ones in there. Because the average Afro-Colombian can't afford the cigar bar life. They can't afford no brandy. So when you walk up in there, no matter how good or how bad your Spanish is, you ain't going to see the brothers like you walk up in a cigar bar in the States. There's brothers everywhere, or everybody else. It's at least enough of us in there. You go, no. So be prepared for that. Chopper Pop, Mr. Dominican himself, the adopted Dominican. He said, "I'm no black, I Dominican." Yep, that's like how they do it. I know black. That's so true. That is so true, bro. Oh, that's so funny too. Chapa says, facts, as long as they are cold beers and music, you can't tell them nothing. That's true, man. Listen, Latin community, you could drop a quarter on Monday. By Friday, you can have a party because you found your quarter. I kid you not. Man, down here, I tell you guys all the time, man, during the pandemic, when they had everybody locked up in the house, the helicopters would fly around the neighborhood. The police helicopters would fly around, and the military helicopters would fly around the neighborhoods playing salsa music for people to enjoy. I'll never forget that video of the one dude that was, it was just an apartment complex. And the dude was a professional DJ. And he stuck his speaker outside the window. Somebody recorded. I wish I had it. Stuck his speaker outside the window and started playing music. And all of a sudden, you start seeing these apartment lights lighting up. And you seeing couples and families just dancing to this one dude. Just everybody just having a great time in their own homes, even though they're locked up for the pandemic. Man, listen, you can't stop Latin people. It's not going to happen in this life. Shout out to the Latin people. I ain't mad at you of all complexions. He said Cartagena is. He said Cartagena. He says is Cartagena short? Yeah. That's the airline CTG for Cartagena. Tried to figure out, should I buy some cigars there or bring some as a nightcap? Depends on what you want to do. I would buy something here just for the experience, just to say I bought some and enjoyed some in Colombia. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't bring mine, even though you would have your favorite, but it's a lot of cigar bars down here, guys. I kid you not. And you'll meet some very prominent professional people down here, man. Kid you not, man. It's crazy who you meet in a cigar bar. Shout out to Chopper Pop. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Let me get ready to get to this topic, man. My man, He said, "Did you hit Portugal yet?" No, we're actually getting ready for that trip in September, October. Andrea's gotten more family down to that area now that many of them have actually moved in that direction. So we're excited not only to go visit Europe, but also to visit the family members that we're so close to as well. She's got family members that I'm close to now that are over there as well. So I'm excited to see them once again and see the kids getting bigger and everything. So shout out to Portugal and all of Europe. France, I don't know if we're gonna make it to France, man. They gotta clean that mess up between the protests and then them not taking out the trash for the last month and a half. I mean, France is funky, nasty. Protesting because they changed the Social Security age from 62 to 64. They've been in a protest. They've been destroying everything. I don't know if it's still going on. They had destroyed everything. And one of the protests was the sanitation workers were not picking up the trash. And I'm talking about France is, I'm sorry, not France, Paris, France. Let me be specific. Paris, France. Filthy. They already had a rat problem. You think the two countries that are known for their rats, or two cities that are known for their rats, are Paris and New York. Yeah, New York, y'all known for y'all world famous for y'all rats. And Paris is extremely famous for the exact same thing as well. Thank you for the cash out. Ken says, can you recommend a Colombian rum? Oh man, you know, I wish I had some rum in here with me right now. I would show you guys some rum that you could get. But let me write that down, Ken. Let me write that down, and I'll have that for Friday night's live stream. Because there are quite a few Colombian rums here. And then the cool part, they even make rums per region. So you'll have some rums that are made in Medellin that you can't find anywhere else. But then you got here in Colombia, like Andrea showed on her live stream, the Afro-Colombian rum. And it's made for this. And you can't find it anywhere else in Colombia, at least along the world. The Afro-Colombians have a rum that's dedicated, like Andrea said, the Afro-Colombian rum is called the Bed Breaker. The Bed Breaker. They got one called 7 times, meaning that make a woman bust 7 times. Yeah, the Afro-Colombians, man, they don't play with their rum. They don't be making their rum just to drink it. They be making it for after, and these recipes have been around for hundreds of years. They've been making these, they make their rum for not only to get drunk, feel good, get your dancing music on. No, they make theirs for when the lights go out, somebody gonna be pregnant tonight. That's how they do down here. It ain't no joke, boy. It ain't no joke. Believe that. He said 250 million. Oh, yeah. He got paid. Yeah, with the 179 guaranteed. Woo. He got paid. I ain't gonna we talking about Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for Philadelphia Eagles. He highest paid player of all time. And his contract was negotiated by mainly all sisters. I ain't mad at him, brother. Get that money. Get that money. Not worried. He said the offense completely intact. That's true. That's true. He said the defense is rebuilt and refreshed with young blood. This is true. Plus, we got the draft coming, the NFL draft in about 5 days. And we built to have a good 3 to 4 year run. That's true. That's true. That's true. So shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. I wish I could say that about my Raiders. Ugh. He said, "Man, I'm gonna start packing my bags now. I order. He said, leaving a donation for the Cigar Lounge list. There we go. I'll have that list for you. Much appreciated. Very appreciated. I used to be a Cigar Lounge dude, man. I used to love cigars, man. Love them. So when I came here and I kind of slowed down because, brother getting a little older, so I can't hit the cigars and hit the gym at the same time like I used to. So now I'm more like, that's why I kind of like focus on my colognes now, I guess. Okay, what's a good way to meet women in South America outside of women? He said, what's a good way to meet women out in South America outside of meaning pay for play or anything else. It's, I kid you not, man. I'm gonna give y'all dudes the secret line, man. I'm telling you, this line work. Everybody use it. I use it. This is how I met Andrea. This is how I meet a lot of Afro-Colombian women. And this is how I meet, dude, how I was doing it, dude. I asked for directions. You can meet good women in the mall. You can meet good women at the in the grocery stores. Like, it's just like the States, man. You can meet good women just, I don't say walking down the street, because I know Colombian women are kind of like iffy about meeting somebody just walking down the street. But this is how you would break the ice. Asking for directions. Dude, I'm telling you, walk up to whatever female you want to. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Would you happen to know? Start a conversation from there. You're in the grocery store. You over in the fruit section. You see something fine. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Como te llamo? In other words, como te llamo? And ask her for directions. Would you happen to know where the seasoning is? You happen to know where the bread is? Whatever it is, ask for directions. Especially if you're pulling out your Google Translate, they just think it's the cutest thing. Don't ever feel like you can't pull out your Google Translate and get a woman's information. I kid you not, they love it. Love it. So at the end of the day, bam. That's some of the easiest ways that you'll meet Colombian women. It's not a trick to it. It's not a, and plus the other thing about Colombian women, at least just women in South America also, they don't do rude rejection. They're not rude. And, you know, I got a man. You won't see that in Colombia. You won't see that. The only time I have ever had a rude moment with a Colombian woman, kid you not, she has spent enough time around tourists. It was in Medellin. The only divas that I actually had to deal with were in Medellin, and the tourists had spoiled these women so much they actually thought that they was Miss It. And yet they weren't rude, but yet you could tell that they weren't around the average Colombian woman. You could tell, you know, fast forward, I could tell, well, these aren't regular Colombian women anyway. But anytime you see women that are around Americans all the time, they pick that up from you dudes. What you mean, dude? Because y'all treat them like they queens of the world all the time. I'll never forget this, man. I'll never forget, man, when I was in Tampa. And it was this Colombian dude, my dude. And he would pull 10s, 11s, 12s, dog. And I'm talking about women that were multi-millionaires, Colombian chicks in the States. We'll be going out to the club like, man, how do you be pulling these bad rich chicks? Hot, dude, I'm talking about hot, and smart. He said, I treat them like trash. I said, what? He said, man, I never let them think that they money, they beauty, or they smarts gives them the right to not respect me as a man. Never. He said, I don't give them 2 seconds. 2 seconds to think that they could disrespect my manhood. And you know, I'm kind of like, whatever. Now that I live here, I get it. And bruh, I was throwing him away. I understood what he was doing then. He was already in the habit of throwing beautiful women away. Like, I don't somewhere with that. So when he wanted ones that he wanted to keep, it was nothing. It was nothing to him. Okay, if you want to leave, cool, leave. It was nothing to him. Nothing to get rid of a hot chick. And so when I sit back and now that I'm in that position, my wife respects me, loves me, treats me well, and Andrea is gorgeous. Beautiful body, workout partner, my prayer partner. Make sure your boy is always healthy with good, healthy meals. Man, listen. Some of you dudes don't know how to tell a hot chick no. I'm telling you, some of y'all dudes, that's what your problem is. You need to come to Colombia and tell like 5 chicks, nah, I'm done with you. You'll be so comfortable being around hot chicks. So comfortable. It's hot chicks that I approach for a dance, and they be thinking they about to get that number. I will walk away after the dance, and they be swearing I'm about to get that number. He about to holler at me, girl. Let me get these breasts ready. He gonna holler at me. Man, if y'all knew some of the hot chicks that I was throwing away when I was in Medellin, what? No. Scarce. There ain't no scarcity here in Colombia. There is no scarcity here in Colombia. No scarcity in Brazil. None of these ain't no scarcity in fineness. So when you get rid of them, it's 10 that look just like her on the other side of the bar. And if you don't get one of those 10, it's 10 more. But we don't have that option in the States. You might walk into a bar. It might be 10 fine chicks, and you've been in that bar 4 hours. And maybe 10 fine chicks might be in that bar. The rest of them out of shape, bad attitudes, moody. Maybe 10 hot in the States. You average about, if you're going, I don't care if you're going to Miami, and I've been all over Miami, you might get 20 in Miami. But the rest of them, you know you ain't gonna holler at. Now you come to Colombia or you go to Brazil. You got a whole herd of fineness in those clubs. I took them brothers to the club the other night. I kid you not. These dudes looking like, man, they fine up in here. Wow. I said, man, this must be ugly girl night. They looking at me like, what? I said, I can't find nobody to dance with. They was like, what you talking about? I said, man, ain't nothing in here fine, bro. I said, these average women. This ain't nothing but average women, man. If we had the opportunity to go to the other side of the city to the clubs, they'd understood exactly what I was saying. Then they would have been like, now I see what Dre's saying. This club, the average American dude will be up in here like, oh my God, they so hot, they so sexy. Until I take you to the other spots that if you don't know nobody, you don't know how to get to them. Then I take you to these spots, and now you're looking at 9, 10s, 11s, and you on the dance floor with them. And they trying to get your number, you trying to get their number. Now you're with me. But yeah, shout out to you guys. All 10, yeah. He said go in the club in the States and all 10 are Latin. Those are the only hot ones. Yeah, they got, hey man, they got clubs in Tampa that it's like the black side of that club and the Latin side of that club, like Jackson's downtown. Shout out to Tampa, Jackson's. Jackson's has a whole Latin salsa side and bachata, merengue, and Kumba music. And then you go to the black side of the club, it's old school hip hop, which is really cool, But I'm like you guys. I'm in the Latin side. I'm trying to see these hot chicks. I ain't trying to be over here with all these big sisters. I love my sisters, but yeah, y'all. Sisters, I love you. But y'all can't compete. I'm sorry. Y'all can't compete. Even if I sat back and I said, which one, if I had the choice to be around Afro-Colombian sisters or African-American sisters, I'll take Afro-Latinas all day long. I'll take Dominican women, the Afro-Latina Dominican women, the Afro-Haitian women, the Afro-Mexican sisters, the all of Brazil, the Afro sisters down in Brazil, all of the Afro-Colombians down here. I take them over the sisters back home any day of the week. I'm sorry, sisters. My job is to love you. And if I love you, I got to be honest with you. Y'all can't compete. Y'all days of competing. Y'all sisters in the States. And somebody once one time asked me, well, you say you don't talk about black women in the States. For the most part, I don't. But I'm going to talk to you. So I ain't going to talk about you, but I'm going to talk to you. Sisters in the States, the only person that you compete with is with each other. Because everybody else around the world, you cannot compete with. I'm sorry. I have never seen a herd of any culture get on an airplane and rush to get around sisters. Name one culture. Have the Arab dudes done it? You got to get to the States to get to these black women. Nope. What about the Asian dudes? Did they get on the plane fly all the way from Asia just to be around African American sisters? Nope. What about the white boys in Europe? Did they fly all the way from Europe to see the sisters? Nope. All you got is Pookie and Ray Ray left in the States, baby. And y'all, the only people you can compete with is each other, because every other culture of sisters, y'all cannot compete with. You can't compete with the African sister. You can't compete with the Afro-Latina sisters. No matter where you go to, I'm sorry, you can't compete with the Afro-Asian sisters. You can't. Cambodia and the ones that got a darker complexion in the Philippines, the Mongolian sisters with the complexions like us, you can't compete with the women. So, sisters, when it comes to competition on a global scale, African American women, I love you. I'm talking directly to you. I ain't talking about you. You can't compete ever, no never. It ain't nothing about you. We got money. Those ladies are broke. Go ahead, make yourself feel good with that bull. We know that the average black woman in the United States only making $39,000 a year. But you keep on telling yourself them lies. We got degrees. Okay, sisters, like I said, keep lying. I'm an ex-college recruiter. I know what type of sloppy degrees that y'all go to school for. Miss Criminal Justice and physical therapy and what was the other one? Massage therapy degrees. I know what degrees you go for. Miss Medical Assistant. I got you. I understand what you're doing. I got you. But y'all ain't rolling like that. Y'all got most college debts in the country, not the best degrees. Y'all ain't walking around with STEM degrees, science, technology, engineering, and mathematic degrees. Come on, sister, stop that. Stop it, I say. But I'm just putting it out there, fellas. The competition, no competition. And I love my sisters. That's where I came from. Born and bred around my sisters. But on a global basis, y'all can't compete, man. Y'all might as well just compete with each other. All right, guys. We got about 35 minutes left. Let's get to this topic. 8 reasons, at least 8. Let's get to 8 reasons or 8 ways to make yourself successful as a man. Or these could be 8 reasons why your life is not where it's supposed to be. We got Gail in the house. You about to make me cry, Gail. We miss you. We missed you, Gail. The Southern Belle is in the building. She said Patreon is now open. Join as little as $5. I love how she put that. That's serious, guys. $5. Come on now. We need 5 people, $5 each. I know some of you guys because you want to see all of the behind the scenes videos. And I purposely, when I go out, I make sure I get the right angles and everything for you, brothers. I got your back. So yeah, I know Gail is in the building. What? I know we got Gail, Stefano, and Charles. I'm happy. I'm a happy man. But let's get ready to get started in all sincerity. Tonight's topic, 8 reasons or 8 things or reason why you never succeed, especially when you're traveling. Number 1 reason in life that will cause a real man, not to succeed is this. You got too many excuses. A real man, he'll have a lot of many things. He's got a lot of challenges in life. A real man. He's got a lot of responsibilities in life. He's got a lot of goals in life. But the one thing as a real man, you should always be short of, and you ain't got enough of, and can't nobody just find you with a bucket full of excuses. If your boss asks you, why did that report get done today when it was due, do not come up with an excuse. Have an explanation, but not an excuse. Take on the responsibility. It is your fault. You will never see a man succeed in life with excuses. Anytime you see a dude with a regular job or with a regular chick, it's because he's giving himself enough excuses to believe that he won't be able to accomplish life and acquire enough. So he decides that he's going to always be an employee. And nothing wrong with being an employee. But when God already put in your heart to be an employer and you decide to be an employee, now you're walking outside of what you were supposed to be on this planet. And the number one most comfortable thing in the earth, other than a pillow, is excuses. Excuses are so comfortable. Excuses are like turning over to the cold side of the pillow and you just nuzzle up to your excuses. Some of you dudes got every excuse in the world why you ain't got your passport. Why you still with the same knucklehead chick that put you through it? Oh, you know, Dre, she was with me when I went to jail. You know, that time I was fighting cancer, that's why I'm still with her. Every excuse, but no real explanation. You got excuse for everything. People with excuses, you can't teach nothing. You can't tell them nothing. You can't show them nothing. You can't encourage them to do something. You'll never see somebody that becomes a heavyweight boxer. You'll never see a kid be a champion in little league baseball or little league football. Pop Warner, if that kid's got excuses, if that adult has excuses. I'm telling you guys, the one thing that I try to make sure that my life always has a low supply in, and rich men do this, and successful men that are authors and playwrights and that are conquerors and explorers throughout history. These dudes I have found from doing my homework have very little to no excuses for whatever stage of life that they're in. What's ever going on, they're going to focus on the solution, but they refuse to use an excuse for whatever they are going through in life. And if you ever wonder how your boy got from federal prison 10 years and ended up here in Colombia in 6 years, living the best life that I've lived in all of my life. I've had great times in my life, but let's not get it twisted. All of my 20s were gone because I was incarcerated. But I couldn't use that as an excuse. Okay, Andre, you was gone for 10 years. What's the solution? What you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this, and I'm gonna accomplish this, and then okay, you could be like other dudes. What's the excuse that people that's incarcerated always use? Always, number one excuse. My number. They ain't gonna hire me. As soon as they found out I was incarcerated, they ain't gonna hire me. I heard that while I was in jail. I heard that when I was in prison. I heard that when I was in the courtrooms, when I was dealing with the feds and the state time I was dealing with. All of it. The number one excuse that everybody had was when they got ready to get out, because you got it, they put it in the movies. Because you got a number behind your name, nobody will ever trust you. You'll never have nothing. I never let that excuse haunt me. I've been in management. I've been in upper management. The only thing that I didn't hit was six figures. Like I said, I was like 171, I was like 71, 81. But I ain't gonna cry because I know that the average brother, he ain't gonna make it to 57. He'll never see what 57,000 is like per year. So for me, for a dude that was in jail for 10 years and came out and focused on his goal and eventually made to 71 to 81,000, I'll take that. Living in Florida, big house, got my Ford F-150 truck like the rest of y'all, Oakland Raider color, of course, the silver and black, Harley Davidson edition. If I can do that, number one reason why I was able to accomplish, and I'm still able to accomplish my goals, I am short, and I mean this, short on excuses. I got a lot of goals, hecky yeah. I got a lot of plans, yup. I got a lot of challenges, yup. But the one thing I'm short on, excuses. That's how you succeed, and that's how you're going to fail in this life as a man. And you'll be judged by the excuses that you use. I'm going to say this again. The difference between Kobe Bryant, Jordan, or Bill Russell, Shaq, and all these other great men that got up early in the morning and take advantage of their skills. And these men that knew their skills, Shaq knew, I ain't the best at free throwing. Well, he could look over at Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was like, hey, I ain't the best at none of them shots. But both of these men say, I'm going to master what I already know how to do. Can't nobody out-rebound me. Bet that. Can't nobody get into the head of the other player. Like Dennis Rodman stayed in somebody else's mental capacity, stayed in their mind on every game. I know how to mess with somebody's head on that court. And I know some of you dudes be like, no homo. Man, I'm tired of that childishness. Y'all can go with that. If you ain't grown enough to know that I ain't talking about something homosexual, then you go. I'm not to sit up here all night talking about no homo, no pause. No, we grown men. We grown men. And I ain't never seen rich grown men talk about no pause, no homo. I'm going to tell y'all now, we ain't about to do all that on this channel. You all hear me? I'm in that all sincerity. We grown men. So when I said that stay in their mind, mental capacity, y'all know if I say stayed on a dude head on the court, y'all know what I'm talking about. Shaq, he knew what his big body could do. No excuse. He didn't use excuses. Well, I can't hit a free throw. I guess I won't join the NBA. A man without excuses knows, okay, if I can't do this, what can I do? That's the first thing that you need to focus on if you want to succeed in this thing called life as a man, because you will be judged on the amount of excuses that you use. And women will judge you on that. The amount of respect that you're going to get from a quality woman in your life will be based off of this also. Many things, physical prowess, your height, blah, blah, blah. Are you a provider? Are you a good man with a good personality, spirituality? Yes. But a woman will judge you as a man. I might be the first one to tell some of y'all dudes this. A woman will judge your manhood based off of how many excuses you make when the opportunity to make excuses come up. I'm going to let you ride with that one. Go ahead, be a man of excuses and see how many fine women you get. How many quality women of education and goals. How many women are just the freakiest thing in bed. Some of y'all can't even get no freak in bed. You know why? Because if you can't keep up, you're going to come up with an excuse. Instead of just saying, you know what? My woman like to have sex 4 times a day or at least 8 times a week. Let me get my butt in this gym. Let me get my health together. Let me start drinking water because I know my wife is freaky. Since you know that your wife is freaky or your girlfriend is freaky, don't use no excuse. Find out what you got to do to keep up with the freakiness. If you got to bring some toys to the bedroom, bring them on. Sound like you got lifesavers up in there. Do what you got to do. But them excuses, a woman will leave you if you keep coming up with excuses of why your life is not going in the direction that you need to take it. And don't let her accomplish a bunch of goals with no excuses and you got excuses. I've seen more men lose women because you got an excuse for why you not manning up. I'm short on excuses, bro. I kid you not. I'll explain the situation. If I faltered, I failed, I'm a human being. I don't do everything or say everything perfectly. But you will never hear Andre come up with an excuse. Well, if it wasn't for the white man, excuse. If it wasn't for the politicians, excuse. If it wasn't for the Republicans, excuse. You notice that most of the people that scream about Republican and Democrats ain't got no money. People that got money, they don't care nothing about Republicans and Democrats. All they care about is the policies. Will you mess with my riches? Let's put it like this. If today the Democrats decided to pass all tax breaks for the rich, guess where the rich gonna run to? The Democrats. If the Republicans continue on to come up with policies for the rich, guess who the rich gonna stand out for? The Republicans. They don't give a dang who come up with the policies. As long as it's looking out for their money and tax breaks, it's cool with the rich. Only us broke folk that sit around, or I don't want to say us because I'm gonna let them be the broke folks. Only broke folks be walking around with. It's been years since Trump been president, and you still got broke people walking around with a Trump hat on, make America great again, which America ain't never been great ever since when? Like pre-slavery? Oh, that's when they attacked the Indians. When was the time before the Pilgrims put their foot on the ground was America great? That was the only time when not one white man was walking around here. That was the only time when it was just Indians and the Latin population running through North America, South America, and Central America. That was it. Then when it was indigenous, that's when it was great. That's the last time the place America was great. It ain't never been great. The moment that the Pilgrims set their foot on the plains of the United States, they brought disease, they brought famine, they brought thievery, they brought connivery, and everything else to steal the land. These people, I just watched a documentary on this, a short documentary. I'm gonna show you how evil these people were to take over the land of the United States. They couldn't beat the Indians or the Native Americans, let's put it like that. So the diseases wasn't doing enough fast enough. They couldn't go toe to toe in battle because the Indians know the natives knew the terrain, and many of them had treaties with each other. They didn't realize, think about it. You coming to another country, you ain't got no government, and all the people that's indigenous to the country already got their government. And what happens? They start killing the buffalo by the millions. You can look that up. Just look up the killing, the mass destruction or deletion of the American buffalo. They were actually paying white dudes, cowboys, through government funding for the heads of buffalo. Because they realized if we get rid of the buffalo, we could dang near starve out these Indians, these Native Americans. Because they use the buffalo for clothing, for shelter, the buffalo hides, food, tracking, direction. Because they knew that the buffalo knew that, hey, if it's going to rain, let's go this way. So they could follow the buffalo. If it's about to rain, why the buffalo went that way? All the little things. So they say, get rid of the buffalo. And we can starve these people out. Look it up. I didn't even know this. Millions upon that's how evil they were. They were willing to wipe out a whole animal species. So when I sit back and I see people talk about when I see black people, well, let's make America great, I only got one question. I ain't talking about Trump. I ain't talking about the Republicans. I'm talking about this, let's make America great again. Now, one black person has ever told me, when was America great for black people? Ever. Including now with billionaires, black billionaires. Name the era that we had: Reformation age, post-slavery age, Jim Crow age. When slavery first started and we were indentured service for 7 years, and then they just changed the laws and they just said, well, let's make it a lifetime. Because when it first started, we were just indentured servants being traded on and off ship for supplies. And then you could, at that time period, you were just a servant for 7 years. And after that, you were free. And then they just changed the laws and say, no, you're just going to be a servant for the rest of your life. Because we're about to take over this new industry called cotton. We're about to take it from the Russians. Because at that time period, Russia was the leader of cotton. And when Russia faltered, nobody in the world knew how to, regulate and do cotton like nobody else. But America said, well, we'll take over. And they took over the cotton industry. That's how that happened. You could do your homework on that. Russia was the true leader of cotton in the world. And they tried to do a game plan that didn't work out, and it faltered. So nobody in the world could do cotton like Russia. And the United States said, we could do it. And so the United States took over the cotton industry. That's how that happened. It ain't never been great for y'all. I'll be sitting up there, seeing y'all standing behind Trump talking about something, America great. Y'all be walking around with the bumper stickers and support Trump. I ain't mad at you. But don't be lying about America was great for any of us. It ain't never been great. It's been okay. It's been cool. It's been good, but it ain't never been great. We have never had a place at the provisional table. Absolutely correct. Provisional table in this country. Never. Never. You're never going to get an answer when America was great. Never. Never. Now, white folks, they swear they got like 15. Now, I can tell you when America was great. Now, when my granddaddy was alive and he had his servant Mama May, white people got plenty of time to say when America was great for them. When we killed off all the buffalo and we starved out the Native Americans, that was great. When we brought you over 400,000 of you over in those ships, that was great. When we took all that money and we built White Houses and banks and everything else and other institutions, and we didn't let you in and didn't let you use the banks, but we let you build the buildings. We didn't let you have any rights in the White House, but we let you build the White House. And we're going to call it White House, even though black people build it. That was great. When schools were segregated and we got the good books and you got them old raggedy books with the outdated information, that was great. Of course, white people could just go throughout the history of the United States. Why do you think I love white brothers and sisters? I really do, but I don't feel sorry for them. Again, I love white people. Them some good white folks, but I don't feel sorry for you. You in the right country to succeed. You in the right country. You got all the rights that we got to fight. You get your house appraised. Your house appraised on average $100,000 more than mine. I don't feel sorry for you. If I see a broke white boy, I ain't sitting up here be like, oh, poor white boy. He got the right to get off his butt and get all type of loans and grants and all type of backup. And all he got to do is fake like he got a suit on. He could be somebody in life. We got to bust our butt to be half of something in life. I don't feel sorry for no white dude in the United States. You crazy. I'm poor in the United States. Why? Why? Tell me one reason why you broke and you in the United States, you a white dude. Excuses. See how I did that? Numero dos. Number 2 reason why men. Number 2 reason, all sincerity. Shout out to you guys. He said, don't tell anyone that's America stole Texas and California and New Mexico from Mexico. Whew. Let's not go down that rabbit hole of true history. Shout out to you for that one. Number 2 is this, in all sincerity. What number 1 was having too many excuses. Some of y'all got too many excuses, no explanations. Number 2 is you're focused on the wrong stuff. The greatest commodity, and y'all always hear me say this, of all time is time. You focused on the wrong thing. Too much social media, that's too much. Too much Netflix, you knew you should have had that book written by now. You knew you should have had a raise by now. Some of y'all are raise worthy. I remember when I was in corporate America, I was raise worthy. But I was so busy half-stepping, they gave the raises to other people. And it had nothing to do with race. And I knew it. I saw raises. I was actually cheering on for other people to get the raise. Why? Because I knew I was half-stepping. I knew I was way smarter than my boss's boss. Way smarter. Some of y'all way smarter, more focused, more abilities, more skills, more degrees than your boss's boss. So why aren't you the boss's boss's boss? Because the whole time, instead of focusing on what needs to get you that promotion, you've been focused on others. I know I did it plenty of times in my life. Many of us that are in our 50s, we know that our life should have been way further. We're doing good. We got great lives. But we know as far as some of the accomplishments, and I'm not just talking about monetary, some of the stuff should have been taken care of. Some of you guys got habits inside of you that should have been gone. Some of you guys got habits that you should have had. You ain't got them yet. You 52 years old. You still ain't got them. Why? Because you've been spending your time focusing on the wrong. Remember how many times I told you guys I only got one regret in life? One. I don't regret nothing. Getting locked up for 10 years? Nope. What about the state time? Nope. You lost 10 years of your life and you don't regret it? Nope. Because I accomplished so much while I was in there. It helped me out when I came out. I wouldn't have wanted to go in there. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, Jesus, hey, Father, if you want this cup to pass from me, I have no problem with it. But just like Jesus had to take the cup of the cross, I had to do my 10-year bit. So be it. And just like Jesus did something for everybody on the cross, I had to do something for Andre while I was doing it in 10 years. That's not my biggest regret. My biggest regret, and I said this in a video, and I mean this, was all the time I wasted smashing chicks. If I was to give advice to any young person, bruh, don't waste your time running through females like that. I wasted so much of my life in between females' legs. It did not take a couple thousand for me to enjoy the intimacy of women. I mean, I'm running through them. I'm all in everybody, every extra orgy you can find. I'm in every swinger club, every swinger spot. I'm coming out the joint. I'm supposed to be Mr. Churchman. I'm running through church females. I never knew. I did not know how nasty and how freaky church women were until I got in the church. They supposed to be helping me be the man I'm pastors' daughters, pastors' wives. I'm not thinking, I'm burning time. I'm focusing on the wrong thing. Sex is great. But when it becomes a distraction from what you're supposed to be doing with the rest of your life, that's the only regret I have. It did not take that many females to enjoy sex. It did not take that many people getting their heart broken to enjoy sex. I kid y'all not, man. I regret that to this day. I would tell any dude, I am not proud. I kid you not. And I said this a couple times ago. I wish I was the dude that had just 7 or maybe 10 or maybe 15 women in my life. Or maybe you've been in relationships and they were long relationships, so you only been with 4 women in your life. I wish I could say something like that. I'm so jealous of that. I swear. Because you were focusing on other things as well as keeping stable relationships. I'm just running from chick to chick to chick to chick, get to know, smash. I'm running through black voices. I mean, I'm running, dude. You talking about Dre the Ripper? You talking about Dre the Ripper? Bruh, I'm running through online apps. Black voices, MySpace, Black Planet, Plenty of Fish. Man, I'm running through apps, running through them. Every female that texts me saying, well, we ain't having sex. We ain't got to have sex, baby. Man, 15 minutes into their crib. Booty clapping sounds. Not realizing how much of my life I'm burning up when I could have been doing other things. I'm burning time. Kids, you're not, fellas. I wish I was lying to y'all, man. I wish I could sit back and say it another way. And ain't no other dude that's probably ran through women like me. They ain't gonna tell y'all that truth. It wasn't really worth all that. If I could have kept it under 100, I'd been cool. If I could have kept it under 50, man, you know how much I could have accomplished in my life with just being under 50? Man, please, man, don't never let nobody shame you because you ain't been with a bunch of man. Dude. Yep. Tag, MySpace. Man, I was going through them, especially when Black Voices came out. And Black Voices came out like right when Black Planet clinked. I was my own Black Planet, man. Whoo. He said, I regret going to college and getting getting an MBA. Wow. He said, ever since I was young, I wanted to be a naval. He said, I wanted to be a naval airman, and I should have went to the military. Yeah, all of us have like that one thing that we allowed ourselves to be distracted from, that we wish that we didn't waste our time doing. I was going to get my MBA, I kid you not. And I saw so many brothers, shout out to you, Beach Material, because I saw so many dudes telling me, Dre, it ain't worth it, dude. Because as soon as they see that MBA, they're going to assume you're going to leave them. That company's going to assume that you're going to leave them as soon as you get a better opportunity. So they ain't going to hire you. I know dudes that would not even put their MBA on their resume. Their BA, AA, their certifications, skills, yes. But I know many men and women, unless they were going for a prominent position, they would not put their MBA on their resume, because it didn't open up as many doors as they thought it was. They thought economically it wasn't even worth it, because now I can't use it because too many companies are scared. So it ain't like he lying. I kid you not, I did that research, man, right before I get ready to start thinking about getting mine. Watch this film productive. Man, that's what's up. I like that title. Big facts, Dre. At 54, I spend way too much time wasting on broads. Taylor May Dream said that last night. He said, right now I'm at that stage in life where all I want is a remote control. Just give me a remote control. He said, you know, if sex comes, it's good. If it don't, I'm good. A lot of guys wonder why I'm not down here cheating with a bunch of women. Dude, I'm happy with the woman I'm with, but I'm happier that I'm focusing my time. Number 2 was focus. I was focused on the wrong thing, fellas. I've been able to accomplish more in 6 years being here in Colombia than I was in the United States after 20 years of not being incarcerated. And I accomplished a lot of great, amazing things, not only for myself, but for our community. I was Mr. Volunteer everything. If you need somebody to volunteer with the kids or elderly people, that was Andre. I was always on politics, volunteering for this and that. And yet I've been able for myself to be able to accomplish a lot more things for me just because I ain't running through a bunch of females. They are distractions, man. They are distractions extraordinaire. Número 3. If you want to be a successful man in life, and I mean this in all sincerity, you got to get rid of your loser. Uh-oh. I think did I hit something? Let me go out. Okay, am I back? I hit the wrong camera. Let me go back out and I'm come back in, guys. Okay, I'm back, guys. That was my bad. One random guy is in the building. Shout out to you guys in regards to the Patreon, taking advantage of it. Let me see if I got the link to share. If you got the Stefano, do me a favor, share the Patreon link as well. Shout out to Gail being in the building. I love you. I really do. You good people. He said, came back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. Back, guys. Okay. Número 3. I made a mistake and I hit a chord. My bad. He said, wait a minute. He say, people ain't mentioned their MBAs on purpose. Yeah, you didn't know that? Come on, Floyd. Yeah, man. I got a lot of friends that do that. They be like, man, this MBA is like cool, like as a title, but nobody uses it. It's like Shaq. Shaq, a lot of people don't know Shaq has his PhD, but you don't never talk about it. And like he actually went to school and studied for it. Like he said, his mom always wanted a doctor in the family. So he said, so he went to school and studied and got his PhD. Shout out to Gail for the Patreon. Guys, make sure you click that. Our goal for tonight is 5 Patreons, no matter what level you join on. Thank you guys for that. And thank you guys for the cash apps and the super chats as well. He said, I have my master's and it's more status quo. Absolutely correct. Unless you are overseas for something. There we go. There we go. Shout out to you guys in regards to that. Yep. It really is like a title. Like I got my MBA, but it really ain't nobody but super doors like that. He said, I stopped putting my MBA on my resume too. So all you guys that was like me, questioning whether you should get it or not, because you knew you were smart enough to get it, you enjoyed your career field, but I was like, should I get it? And I started researching and talking to my friends that had MBA, and all of them, male and females, not all, but many of them, male and females, were saying, you don't need your MBA. I'm telling you. Blah, blah, blah. And they started giving me the stories, the resume stories. So yeah. he said, that's what it's like. That was on point. Yeah. Kid you not, man. He said that NBA issues belong my mind. Floyd like, what? There's people with NBA and I don't know about it. Yep. Okay. The next one is you got to begin to let go of your loser friends. But that ain't all. You got to stop being a loser friend. Some of us brothers and sisters, we got partners that were good for when we was broke. I got partners that was good when I was breaking in houses. Perfect partner. I got a partner that's good that when we was out there slinging the ladies. Perfect party partner. But the level of life that I'm seeking to go to, them partners, they can't go with me. And some of you brothers, the reason why you ain't on the level of life that you on, like they always say, you are the definition of the top 5 people that are around you. Some of your partners, man, you're gonna keep one of your partners. He just straight thug, straight party. That's the dude that you can play dominoes and spades with. That's your dog. You're gonna keep like 1 or 2 of them. But at least 3 or 4 of your partners, they need to be exchanged out. They can't encourage you. They can't network with you. They can't open up doors for you. They can't help you. And they can help you when, hey, I need somebody to pay my bail. I'm on my way, Dre. But you ain't at that stage of bail paying anymore. Some of y'all got partners that's always borrowing money from you because you at the point where you always got a few dollars. But that partner from back in the day, he always need a few dollars. You ain't got nobody that's helping you out with making a few more dollars. You got somebody that always got to borrow a few dollars. Them partners got to go. And you know how to do it, just like we got rid of women, slowly but surely. But part 2 of this is you got to stop being the partner that's the loser. Some of y'all got to start winning in life, man, to make somebody impressed enough to say, I want to be his partner. I want to be her partner. I'm not just talking about financially. Some people spiritually need to be clean to where some people want to hang around you because you're a good dude. You good people. Some people just good people. They ain't got a bunch of money. They make a decent paycheck, but they just good people. They not losers. Some people ain't rich, but they got rich words of wisdom to share. Good people. Those ain't losers. You got to decide on what areas of life that you want to be a winner that people want to cling on to. I'm going to tell you something that people were telling me when I was incarcerated, then after. And brothers and sisters always got to say, you trying to be like the white man. I always say this, you ain't looking close enough. I am not trying to be like the white man. I'm trying to be what the white man want to be like. You get that? I'm trying to be what the white man want to be like. You know how many actors, white actors, wish they could act like Denzel Washington, like Samuel L. Jackson? You know how the NFL players wish that they had the athletic natural abilities of a Michael Vick? How many white boy Michael Vicks you got out there? Like Josh Allen was like for the Buffalo Bills, like the only one that could run that ball like that, and he a white boy. You know how many white boys wish that they had created the internet and created some of these technological advances that we have that were created by black people, whether they were here or whether in another country? You got to get your life to the point where white boys look at you like, man, I want to be like him. I want my kids to be like him. I want my grandkids to be accomplished. You got to stop being a loser. Whatever it takes, I don't know what it is for you, but you got to stop being the loser friend. Some of y'all need to get rid of the loser friend. Some of us need to stop being the loser friend. Some of us always got to give a few dollars to somebody, and some of us always need a few dollars. We gonna be real tonight, or what we gonna do? Or do I need to start lying? I could be like those other YouTubers. I can tell you lie and we can kumbaya. I always tease Richie Mack because I say you got too much kumbaya on your show, man. Ain't nobody being truth, ain't nobody being I say everybody just kumbaya and you just the best friend, Richie. I said, man, sometimes men want to hear honesty from other men. Not saying Richie's panel is not honest or anything. What I'm saying is sometimes we need to talk like we barbershop talk. And I don't need to be hearing about the history of hip hop or who's my favorite rapper all the time. But I could go that route. I could do the panel and do it like other YouTubers and just we could all hold hands and kumbaya and laugh. Or I could be truthful with you as a man and let you know the way that the successful have succeeded is they are stingy with their time. When I had Dennis Sperling on the show, you know why? I had reached out to Dennis in June. Dennis wasn't able to come on to the show until January, February. I knew how precious his time was. Dudes I reach out to that never make it to the show that y'all never know about. How many times I've gotten people, men and women say, I don't have the time. And I understood it because I am stingy with my time. That's why y'all don't see me on everybody's live stream. And when I come on, I may come on like a half an hour here and there. Now, Richie, he family, so he'll get like the most time. But everybody else, y'all see me on there, say what I got to say and get off. Why? I'm stingy with my time. I appreciate when you guys come out and y'all say, Dre, you hanging out with us tonight? Yeah. Hey, Dre, man, I appreciate that, bro. Drinks on me, man, because I know how busy your time is. You got to be that to succeed in this thing in life through the lens of manhood. And the other one I said was excuses, man. You can't keep coming up with excuses for life. Your excuse bucket should be about, man, I don't even got nothing that small. Your excuse bucket should be that small. Explanations, yes. Excuses, hell no. Let's go to the next one because we're coming up on, we're at 2 hours and I don't want it to go a little further than that, any further than that. I got 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes. Next one, you got to have standards, bro. You ain't got no standards, life will run all over you. You think that the women in Medellin gonna run over you. Bruh, if you ain't got no standards, if your standards are low, the difference, like I always say, the difference between a river and a flood has boundaries. I mean, a river has boundaries. It has standards. It has, on both sides, got standards. A flood has no standards. Some of you dudes get off the plane and you ain't got no standards. Every man that's ever gotten drugged in Medellin, Cartagena, Cali, and all these other spots, including the United States, most of them was because they lowered the standards that they had in the States. You decide you want to date bottom feeders, you lowered your standards because you know you wouldn't date no bottom feeder in the States. How many of y'all brothers that's making 50, 70, $80,000 going into the projects looking for women? Come on. How many of y'all going into the Section 8 centers or the homeless centers where children and kids are and looking for a wife up in there in the States? How many of y'all dating women on Section 8 and you make about $250,000 or $80,000 a year? How many of y'all doing that? Your girlfriend, your woman, your dream woman is on Section 8 right now. Nope. The more money you make or the more success you have in life, the more you feel about your manhood and standards, you feel like, hey, when I was broke, I could give a Section 8 chick a chance. When I was young and poor and ain't nobody had no money, I'm in the projects dating the project chicks. But now I'm a man. Like the Bible says, I put childish things away. And then you come to Colombia. And you don't even, Colombia and Mexico, Colombia and in Brazil, Thailand, and many other places are already considered third world. So if you go to the best of the best and get the best women, you can afford them. But you don't do that. You let down all your standards and come to another country. You're in the top 10% economically getting off the plane, and you run and you date the bottom 10% of the women in every country you go to. And then you got the excuse to say, I got scopamine. It was her fault. Bruh, it was your fault too. Any dude that gets scoped, and I watch you on DC Rob, and I watch you survive getting scoped on my man Razor Rays. You had a part to play in it too. The first part, like I said, what are you doing as a black man in Parque Yeras if don't nothing black in Parque Yeras, but security and the workers are in Parque Yeras? All these other spots where black people hang out in Medellin, you ain't going to them. You going to Parque Yeras. And you wonder why you standing out with your top 10% economically in all of Colombia. Soon as you get off the plane, you ain't got no more standards. And then as soon as you get back to the United States, now you got standards. No, I do not date broke women. I am not going to date a woman that only wants me for my money. But as soon as you go to Colombia, all those standards are gone. And these Colombian women, I'm not talking about women with no degrees, women with no education, women that live in some of the poorest areas that you ever saw, women that have no goals. The only thing that they have is a fat behind and a pretty face, and she can cook a little bit. And she can convince you who are ex-military dudes that were trained to know what BS looks like. You were trained year in, year out to know when BS is right across the street or 30 miles away. And you come to Colombia and let a little 28, 27-year-old girl convince you out of all your money to where when you ready to get a rope and put it around yourself because you let down your standards. A man traveling should always have standards. And a man that's focusing his life towards success should always have standards. You can't just walk up to the rich and just start a conversation. Why? They got standards. They got security. The security knows the standards. The limited or the limited type. What type of people can walk up on them? Even if they're at a gala event. Not every person can walk up on certain politicians. Why? Because those politicians have earned the right to have certain standards. You come to Colombia with no standards and you get got, I don't feel sorry for you. I say, there's some more footage, Razor Ray. Hey, DC Rob, we got another one. We got another one, DC Rob. You better put a video out on them. We got another one. You dudes come here. You let all your standards, all your inhibitions, all your boundaries go. And you just let these women run in your life like a flood. There is no way in hell I'm going to just let any type of woman from any type of barrio in any type of country just because she got a fat behind. You know what ticks me off the most? Especially when I know there are 50 women that look just like her standing behind her in this mall. Let's say Andrea told me no. And you know how many fine women walking around Chippy Choppy Mall that I get to holler at and use my lame excuse, could you show me where, because I got standards and you got standards. You got to stop letting your standards or your boundaries down in life for instant gratification, because that's the only reason men do it. Men only let our standards down because we know that instant gratification is right there. That carrot is right there. That coochie is right there. If I only, it's so close, I could taste it. And so we let our if I let my standards down this year, let me get the coochie. And so you let your standards down and boom, you may even get the coochie for a year. And the next thing you know, you didn't send her, you ain't even realize you didn't send her over $1,000 Western Union, or you didn't spend at least $1,000 on her in the club, at the restaurant. It ain't tricking if you got it, bruh. You can have it. You still a trick. Ask what her pimp say. Ask, I don't care what you call yourself. It ain't tricking if you got it. Ask her what she call you. If it ain't tricking, ask her what she call you. Ask you what her pimp call you. Ask her what the dude who trained her to be out on the streets call you. If she call you a trick, if the pimp call you a trick, if the police officers call y'all tricks, if the dude that trains her in her gang or her community and how to get men call you a trick, just because you got money and you say it ain't tricking if you got it, you still a trick. Everybody calling you a trick and you try to convince yourself with your little few dollars that you ain't a trick, you still a trick. You just a rich trick. I don't know where y'all get that beer. I don't know who in hip-hop came in with that bull, but I'm telling you now, you ain't nothing but a rich trick. That's all you are. You a trick with a few dollars. Like I said, you got off the plane, you were the top 10 to 5% of economically in most of these countries you go to anyway. You go to Philippines, the average American, you balling. You go to Thailand, the average American, you balling. Cambodia, you balling. South America, you balling. Most of Africa, you balling. With your regular everyday job, $25 an hour job, you balling. And you want to sit back and say it ain't tricking if you got it. If everybody else calling you a trick, what do you think you are? You a trick. And the only reason you became a trick is because you let down your standards. You let down your boundaries. The rules that you usually live by, you gave it all up for some coochie. For just for instant gratification, you decided, I'm going to give it up. I know some of you guys got to get ready to go to work, and I see that's getting late. We're gonna finish this last. We're gonna do this last one. How a man succeeds in life, and how some men will never succeed in life. This should have been number one. This is how you ain't gonna never succeed in life. Never. You ready? And I mean never. If you want to meet some partners that you can say never to, because some of us got some partners that we know at 50 plus, we know he ain't gonna never be nothing in life. Here's one of the number one reasons. This should have been my number one. You let any type of woman walk in and out of your life. You let any type of woman walk into your life. Women that ain't fit can walk in and out of your life. Women that's doing all type of drugs and debauchery can walk in and out just because she's sexy enough, or she funny enough, or she got that walk. Some of you dudes let any type of woman walk in and out of your life. As long as she got a big butt and a smile, she can walk in. She ain't gotta have nothing. She ain't gotta have no goals. She could be a weed head. She could be a crackhead. Y'all will let anybody walk in and out of y'all lives. Anybody. Any female. A female with the loudest voice, a female with the softest voice, a female that's gonna do you right, a female that'll do you wrong. You don't, the ones that'll do you right, you don't keep. She's walking in and out. The ones that do you wrong, you kick her to the side eventually. She walked in and out. The big girl, you don't like big girls, but you smashed one that night. She walked in and out. The one that looks just like you like, with the right height and the right look, eyes, complexion, dimples, everything. You did her wrong. She walked in and out of y'all. You can't keep letting this revolving door of take it from a dude that know. You will never succeed in your manhood if you don't master the art of not letting women just be able to just walk into your life like a dang cowboy walking to a saloon with the doors of your life just swinging back and forth. And you think that you're going to be a success or succeed in life. That's impossible. Impossible for that to happen. No man, name one man other than a pimp or a player that has ever succeeded in life and women just walked in and out of their lives. They had to have, even dudes that had side chicks, even if you were an LA Laker basketball player and they had all the ladies lined up and y'all could smash him like Magic Johnson, he still had to have a cookie in his life, didn't he? Why you think politicians, they may have so many ladies on the side, but they got their one? You got to have somebody that's going to be the stable one in your life. You got to have something that's stable. Men need stability so we can focus on this. We got enough challenges as it is in man with the pendulum of life swinging. So we need somebody. I got to be able to turn my back on a woman that could be stable. I could turn my back on Andrea and she keeping everything stable. So I can focus on all these other things. But we keep letting women in our lives that if we turn our back on them, we can't trust them to keep our lives stable. Some of you dudes can't trust a woman with a wallet, at least long a bank account, at least long some investments. Some of us can't trust a woman to make us won't even bring you no water. At least long talking about making a plate of food for you. Guess who got a hot plate of food waiting for your boy after this live stream? And it's what, 11 something here, 12 something there? I could turn my back on Andrea and she's taking care of all the other stuff of life. Why? Because I don't just let any type of woman waltz her little happy. I ain't gonna let no woman waltz her ass into my life and she ain't gonna get to the gym. I wish I would let a woman just waltz into my life. I got to focus on my health, but you ain't got to focus on yours. I got to focus on these kids, but you ain't got to focus on the kids with me. No, I don't let anybody just walk and waltz into my life. You guys see me talk about that all the time. That's why that's why a lot of dudes mad at me now. You dudes that are Medellin dudes, y'all done already seen me. Ask some of them dudes that want to do a consultation for Medellin. Have I said no? No. What? No. But Dre, no. But I'll pay, no. If you've been to Medellin all the time, and then see, I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you nothing. You already said. If all you've ever done is Medellin for 6 years, a dude from Cali or Cartagena can't tell you nothing. You think you know everything about Colombia. Every dude I've met from Medellin, they think they know Colombia, ain't been nowhere else but Medellin. Ain't been to the coffee region. They ain't been down the road to El Poblado and climb the rock of Guatapé. But they could swear up and down, they could tell you about Colombia. Ain't been nowhere but Medellin for the last 7 years. You can't tell them dudes nothing, and I refuse to. I refuse to let just anybody walk in and out of my life. And that goes for women. So lastly, but most importantly, guys, you cannot let every type of woman walk in and out of your life and think you're going to be a success. That does not happen. You could not name dudes. Even Tom Brady had enough sense, even though he lost his wife, he had enough sense to keep her around through his whole career, dang near. All right, guys, I want to hold you up too much longer. This ran like a few more minutes longer than I expected. Shout out to you, brothers. Make sure you subscribe to my brother. Speak Spanish Now, giving great tips. Great tips. I've been watching your last few videos, man. Great tips in regards to learning and studying Espanol. Shout out to Tevin. He said, you ain't lying, Andre. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all, dude, women will make your life great or will tear your life apart. And that's historical. That's historical. There are dudes in the grave right now because of the woman that they let walk into their lives. And some of us are so unhappy because we knew that there was a woman that we shouldn't have never let walk out of our lives. There are women that I already told Andrea, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't going nowhere. I'm good. She fulfills all the needs. She checks off all the boxes. I'm good. Is she a perfect person? None of us are perfect people. But as for Andre, I'm good. I ain't about to throw away a good woman in hopes of finding a good woman. That's not about to happen. And we men, many of us have done that before. We've had that good woman that God sent our way. And what do? We got rid of her because we want to smash other women for a few more years. And so there are times we let the wrong one walk out of our lives. And we know it don't happen too often. So I know to sit my butt down somewhere. But some of you dudes, y'all keep letting the wrong ones in and out. And then the ones that you're supposed to keep, whether it be for networking, whether it be for relationship, whether it be for intimacy, we throw them away. We got to stop doing that, fellas. All right. Once again, shout out to all you guys in here, all you guys that join the Patreon, all you guys that make sure you subscribe to our Rumble channel, because I'm actually going to be breaking this video up and dropping it off over there. All you guys that stayed with me all this time period, all you guys that subscribe to Andrea's channel, all you guys that gave cash apps and so forth, we appreciate you. The moderators appreciate you for always being upstanding. There's never any evil or ill will in the comment sections and out in the chat. Man, we appreciate that. I kid y'all not, y'all make being moderators on this channel a lot easier for them. And we appreciate you guys for doing that. Shout out to Lil Wayne and them. Yeah, I know, right? Got a Lil Wayne quote. That's what I had to throw out there. Great show. Thanks, Bobby, in the building. Feliz noches. Yeah, have a great evening to everyone. Todos. I'm learning a little something, ENB. A little something. All right, we out of here, guys. Once again, my name is Andre Love Crossing Borders. I'm about to get this I got enough time. I'm about to get this last bit of exercising in so I can stay on course. I'll talk to you guys later.